This was an interesting one because I think he overheard me bitching in the gym because I could not get my weight to break 280 or whatever it was at the time, and I was a 308, and was still eat. And this is a misconception that a lot of people have when they read about me or they hear my stuff. I used to bodybuild. I used to always eat fairly clean, and I was eating probably too clean at the time, and I couldn't break the 280. And there's only so much chicken breast and rice that you're able to pound down to be able to make any progress. So JM overheard me, bitching to whoever I was bitching to about this, and said, "Hey, come out to the parking lot. I got a secret to tell you." And pulls me out to the parking lot, proceeds to tell me the bulking diet, which was the 3 breakfast sandwiches from McDonald's with 2 packages of mayonnaise per sandwich, 2 hash browns per sandwich, 3 in the morning. Lunch was to be Chinese food with MSG, not without MSG. Dinner was to be, you had more choices, but pizza with olive oil, fully loaded. And the best part about the pizza one, because there was other stuff like spaghetti that you could overload and cereal that you could it was all about calories per bite. But the pizza one was a better example because you said you put it on the table, the coffee table, and you look at it before you eat it. So there was a mental aspect to this thing. And you picture every piece of that pizza as being one step closer to your goals, because you're going to get to a point after that 20 minutes when your body becomes satiated. You're not going to want to eat that. So you're going to have to stare at those 2 pieces and realize you don't have what it takes, to be able to finish it. So when I tell the story, people crack up and laugh, but it actually is a very good story. Now, in between all this was the Hershey bars, which were to be carried and eaten every hour to keep the blood sugar constantly high, but constant. So there was less fluctuation in the blood sugar. And the best part about the Hershey bars were you didn't have to be hungry. You could just throw it in your mouth and it would melt down your throat. Now, what people don't understand is this was not a 6-month diet. This was like for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, a month at the very most, to kind of get you to go from a 280 to a 300, just a big smack in the face to kickstart and get it going.
Yeah, it was a breakthrough.
Yeah, it was a breakthrough.
And you got to do it until you get what you want to break through to.
Yes.
So it might be 6 months if you screw
True.
around and don't get your job done.
Yes.
So yeah, it was just a breakthrough.
So it was something that worked and has become known as the JM diet, which is really a disservice to the nutritional knowledge that you have because you've gone up and down weight classes and so forth. So let's just explain why, the breakthrough with those foods. I mean, they're calorie dense foods, but our listeners aren't going to know.
That's the answer, Dave. I mean, you know the answer. The answer is you have to be able to produce weight on your body out of matter that you eat. You cannot go to the gym and breathe in muscle mass. Muscle mass is built out of matter. Matter comes into our bodies with food and drink. So there is the end all be all. You have to put matter in if you want it to stick. And a calorie is a calorie. Calories have different sources, but they burn the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, 1 calorie is a specific amount of heat that you need to raise I think it's a cc of water 1 degree centigrade. So I don't remember the exact, but it's a heat amount. When you eat food, you have a certain amount of energy that's locked in the food that you release. You want that energy to go into something that's going to be built in your body. So your body's built out of food, not hopes and dreams and training hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's built out of food. Now, the training is the stimulus for the growth, but the growth has to be made from matter, building blocks, bricks. So I guess the training is if you want to build a house and you get a bunch of workers to show up at your site and you decide that what you need is more workers because the house isn't getting built. And so you get more workers and more workers, and you do more and more and more training. And then you finally realize, I didn't bring enough bricks. I need more bricks, not more workers. I need more food, not more not more people, not more training, more matter that the people that are there can build into my house. So the food is the end all be all of gaining weight. And if you gain weight alone, fat, muscle, you will get stronger. Even fat weight makes people stronger. That's not what we want. It's not what our goal is. But if you could trade a pound of muscle, how many pounds of fat would you be willing to put on? So to lose body fat, to lose body weight, to lose fat, you just have to not eat and go run around a little bit. That's pretty easy. To gain a pound of muscle, that's pretty hard. So the two things, gaining a pound of muscle or losing some fat, I think the easier of the two by far is to lose the fat. So I always said I was willing to put on, out of every 3 pounds, 1 pound muscle. So 2-to-1 ratio. I'll put on 2 pounds of fat for that 1 pound of muscle, which is hard to get, because I can burn the 2 pounds of fat off easily. And so calories is the end all be all of gaining weight.
So the choice of the food was mostly just convenience.
It's mostly convenience and processability. So there's a term that Kessler from the FDA used when he was being very critical of the fast food industry. And it's called palatability. So how it goes down your throat, how much it fits your palate. And he was talking about how they do science on this, and they look at how many bites, how many chews per bite. How many times do I get to chew this steak before I can suck it down? And they know the answer to that, and they do things to the food on purpose. I don't know if you've been to McDonald's lately, but I happen to know that you can eat a McDonald's hamburger without chewing it. You can just press it against the roof of your mouth and it will fall apart. It is very palatable. It goes down easy, really quick. Now that's good for gaining weight. It may not be good for most Americans who aren't balancing that intake of food with a hard, heavy exercise of any kind, right?
Yeah.
So back to the 2-for-1 deal, right? You have to ask yourself, how much do I believe in my ability to diet? So after I put on 30 pounds and I've got my 10 pounds of muscle, can I get rid of those 20 pounds of extra fat, or am I stuck with those?
Yeah.
So if you have faith in yourself, you can put on 2-to-1, and you can do much better than that. That's the top limit I was willing to do. I would have loved to have 1-to-1. That's even better, right? Or better than that, and it can be done. The problem is you don't want to walk the fine line. When you go into a workout, you stimulate the growth. You want to recover from that workout, repair any damage, and grow. That's 3 things you got to do. 3 things. So let's say you go in and work out and you eat enough to recover.
Yes.
So you can go in for another workout, but you may not be fully repaired. So you're ready for another workout because you've repaired. You've eaten enough to do that. That's going to lead to overtraining because you haven't repaired the damage. You're going to make more damage. You're going to cover the repair, only the first part, with your food, and you're going to start to overtrain. So let's say you do step 2. Let's say you eat enough to repair I may have misspoke, to recover so you can get back to the gym, and you've eaten enough to repair, and you keep doing that. Well, that means you are a master of maintenance then, because all you're doing there is having a good workout, a great workout. You are recovering, so you get back to the gym, and you have repaired. So you're right back to where you started, but you're no further down the road. So you have to do the 3rd thing. So you can walk that tightrope and ask yourself, how many calories exactly do I need to grow from this last workout without putting on any fat? And if you can figure that out, good for you. But the safe bet is to eat a little more than is necessary. The only way you know that is if you're putting fat on. So the only way to be absolutely sure that you got the most out of the last workout you had is to eat enough to recover so you can get back to the gym. Eat enough on top of that to repair any damage that happened, not get you back to where you started. But now you're not going to the gym to stay the same. You want to improve.
Yes.
So you have to eat enough to cover the growth that you've stimulated. That's why you went to the gym, to stimulate growth, not to get tired and come back and do the same thing again for a year, 2 years. Who knows how long you can keep that up.
Yeah.
You have to overdo
I
it.
lost my mic and headphones.
Down on purpose because, Jay, you're going to have to speak up a little bit if you don't mind.
Okay, you want me to move closer or something?
No, you're good. You're about as close as you can get. But
All right.
Because I got nothing here.
you got any now, Dave?
Yeah, now I do. Actually, what you just explained and the way that you explained it is perhaps the best way that I've heard the supercompensation cycle explained, because people of recent forget the two aspects that follow the recovery. It's recover, train. Recover, train. It's like, dude, recover, repair, grow. So there's adaptations that have to happen, that if you're jumping too fast, throwing in extra workouts, throwing in extra training sessions, not getting the nutrition that you need, walking, like you said, walking that fine line, where it's always, you're already in strength sports, we're already walking a fine line. So, we're already looking over the edge. So
the thing that I think people miss, one of the biggest misconceptions about the gym, people have this irrational belief that they get stronger at the gym or that they get more muscular, they grow at the gym. Nobody ever got stronger in the gym. Let me tell you what happens in the gym. You get weaker, you get tired, you get broke down, you get fatigued in a gym. You don't get stronger. You don't come in, lift weights, and then leave stronger. You leave much weaker every time.
Broken down.
Broken down. Nobody ever got big in a gym. Nobody ever got strong in a gym. When do we get strong? When do we get bigger? When you leave the gym and you rest it and you feed it. That's when growth happens. That's when supercompensation occurs. And people are convinced that the gym is the secret to it all. And they forget about the rest. And that's unfortunate, because the gym is just a stimulus for the growth.
Yeah.
Growth is what we want. You want to get to the gym, get your work done, get the hell out.
Yeah, the real work happens outside of the gym, but
the growth and the recovery and everything that you want happens away from all the weights.
Yeah, with the weight gain, the palatability is the one thing I never thought about, the one thing I never considered, because those breakfast sandwiches slide right down, because I would eat them on the way to the gym. Yeah. They're right down. Yeah. It's over. Chinese food, you eat that, you're hungry a half hour later.
That helps.
The pizza was rough, but
it's so dense, it's so full of calories.
Yeah.
And so again, the calories, people talk about protein, they talk about macronutrients. When you're trying to gain weight, if you're eating upwards of 5,000 or 6,000 calories a day, you don't have to worry about protein. In this country, you don't have to worry about nutrients either. We have good food here. Even our crappy food is loaded with nutrients here.
It's vitamin fortified.
Yeah, it's good here. We have good food here. Even our bad food is healthier than the rest of the world. And so you don't need as much protein as people would have you think or have you believe, because they sell protein, and so if you're eating 5,000 or 6,000 calories, you don't have to keep track of anything except the calories. Yeah. You'll get enough protein. You'll get enough nutrients. And if you're worried about nutrients, take a children's chewable 3 times a day. If you're worried about vitamins, then that'll cover it. A children's chewable is about 1/3 of the adult requirement.
Yeah.
And if you want extra vitamins, you can waste your money if you like. That's fine. It's your money. It's America. You can be as wrong as you want.
Exactly.
You can go down any path you want, but it's not necessary, and it won't help unless it helps you feel better and think better and train harder. So anything that makes your mind believe that you can do better, it's worth it in my book, even if it doesn't have any value in physiology terms. The real secrets, and we know physiology inside and out. We've studied it since the 70s. There's no new information out there. Where the groundbreaking is the mind. That's where. So if you can make your mind believe in yourself, you've got the world beat.
Yeah.
So that's where it goes.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna dig deep into that.
I hope so. Yeah. Good.
Let's flip it down.
Did I finish that idea?
Yeah,
though? Is
you
that a
definitely
complete
finished the
concept?
idea, because I think to sum it up, it's kind of what you told me. It's a calories per bite. It's how many calories you're going to get per bite. And if you're trying to gain weight, you're going to cover almost all of your nutritional needs. The only thing I could possibly see if you live where we're from is maybe vitamin D not being met, maybe. But at 5,000 calories, I probably would agree that it's going to be met, because the dairy is going to be in there, and it's going to be there.
But anything you're worried about, go ahead and supplement that if you choose.
Yeah. But
if your blood work comes back and you're not low on magnesium or one of the B vitamins or vitamin D, those are the pretty popular ones for lifters, then it's not necessary. But if it changes your mind about what you think you can do, then I'll concede.
Exactly.
Go right ahead, man.
Yeah.
If you want to wear a special shirt and tie your shoes a special way, go ahead.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to fault anybody for having a
rock.
And a rock or any sort of thing that gets them to focus their mind clearer and better.
Okay, came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.